So Iliff as a degree program, and the reason I chose Iliff, really partially had to do with the nature of the hybrid programs, because that allows you to take a bigger variety of classes than what you could get if only faculty were teaching residentially. It also diversifies significantly the student population, which is pretty amazing when you think about traditional theological education or seminary context, especially in the United Methodist Church. Iliff has this vast array of people in different spiritual and faith traditions that just enhance the classroom in ways that I never could even imagine prior to being here. They're also just kind of on this edge of looking at the ways that we talk about ministry in different ways, where I think people are well aware that we have to start shifting the way that we do ministry on a regular basis. But the educational components about how we get there aren't always there. And Iliff, I think, is kind of on the forefront of doing some of that work really creatively. I have to say, at least Eric Smith and Amy Erickson are some of my favorite professors. Amy has just such a unique way of holding respect for text as we look at them, but also acknowledging the need for reinterpretation and doing that work. And she's painfully good about bringing people from different spiritual and faith traditions together to find commonality, to find reverence for these sacred texts that may not be our sacred text in a really meaningful way. Dr. Smith, as another excellent faculty member, really pushes students to lead the conversation based on what we found interesting. Both of them design their classes around themes as opposed to going through chunks of scripture. And that's a really helpful way of unpacking, sometimes, especially when you're stuck in one book of the Hebrew Bible or the Christian canon, of unpacking that in a really meaningful way based on themes. After graduation, my intention is to return back to the Iowa Annual Conference and continue on the track to be an ordained elder in the United Methodist Church. And I'm feeling pretty good about what Iliff has done for me and the way that they've equipped me to be in ministry. But I'm also not unaware of the challenges when we get back to the local church about where Iliff kind of puts you in a frame of mind and where most of our local churches are.